All right, one of the many notable attendees at Saturday night's dinner, our good friend, ESPN host Stephen A. Smith. He said he heard a pop inside the hotel at the dinner. So what does Stephen A. make of the left's violent rhetoric and the latest assassination attempt on the president? He's here with more. You know what people comment on about our interaction together, our friendship? People say, you know, I like you guys together. We can tell you guys like each other. And you're wrong most of the time, so I mean...
I think you're wrong most of the time. Go ahead.
But in all seriousness, this has got to stop, Stephen A. Not cool.
It's got to stop. There's no doubt about that. I will tell you that it wasn't that kind of environment. You know, you sort of walk away with the impression that all the pomp and circumstance, all the vitriolic rhetoric and stuff like that is just made for the cameras when you are in the environment that I was in Saturday night going to the White House Correspondents' Dinner with the honchos from ABC and Disney. You know, everybody that was in there, they were from both sides of the aisle. Folks were taking pictures together. They were mingling together. They were talking. They were having a good time. There was no vitriolic rhetoric. There was no incendiary comments. Everybody was getting along just fine. And then we go into the building, and all of a sudden you just hear a little ruckus. I heard a pop. And the next thing you know, I see Secret Service running to the stage and folks are screaming, get down, get down, get down. And law enforcement was saying, get down. And then I saw armed men, you know, for the Secret Service pointing a finger into the crowd. And it was giving the impression that the gunman had actually penetrated security and got inside the ballroom where the media members were. And what was so alarming about that, Sean, is that coming into the Washington Hilton, we saw protesters outside. They were protesting everything from the war in Iran to the Epstein files and everything. And they were accusing the media of being complicit. So it wasn't far beyond the realm of comprehension that the media, at least initially thought upon, that the media was the target. And that's what made it that much more scary as well.
But you hear the constant refrain. You don't go there. You don't use that rhetoric. We don't have that in our personal discussions. We don't have that in our on-air discussions. Hitler, fascist, racist, Gestapo. Hitler, fascist, racist, Gestapo. Wash, rinse, repeat. You've got to admit this is dehumanizing and insightful. And over time, sick people hear it. You can't deny it.
I'm not about to sit here and insult the American people in your audience by denying that. There was a time when the left was quick to point to, I think from the years like 2010 to about 2021 or whatever, you know, right-wing extremism and stuff like that. There's no question that over the last year, it's been left-wing extremism. There's no denying it. There's no getting around it. Well, I mean, okay, you say that's what you say. I'm going to go with, you know, just reading up on it and seeing what they're saying in terms of the data and the numbers. But in the end, there's no absolving the left from the kind of rhetoric, the incendiary rhetoric that they've been throwing in the direction of folks from the other side. And it's primarily aimed at Donald Trump. Make no mistake about it. It's definitely aimed at him. If there was another person in office, perhaps they would be a bit different with some of the things that they say and the way they're willing to go at him. But when, you know, you try to dismiss and think it's hyperbolic to bring up Trump deranged syndrome, but there are some people out there that have clearly exhibited that. When it comes to this man, he just takes it to another level in their eyes. Clearly, you know me, I'm going to sit up there and tell you that there's things that don't need to be coming out of his mouth. But in the same breath, he doesn't warrant this. This is the third assassination attempt against the man, for crying out loud. And that's not something that we're accustomed to seeing in American history. And so when that's the reality of the situation, we have to stand up and speak as a country and say, listen, right is right and wrong is wrong. And we can't be taking sides and we can't be leaning towards one side of the aisle or the other. It's unacceptable. And we have to speak up about that. We have to be responsible enough to sit up there and say that kind of stuff should not happen. And I'll give you credit where credit is due. I'll be the first. I just heard you a few minutes ago talking about when Obama was in office, and you were talking about the need for him to be protected, particularly when somebody had penetrated the parameters of the White House one time. You're absolutely right. I remember that. You were somebody that pointed to the fact that there's no reason on earth why the most powerful person in the world, in the free world, isn't protected on our own soil better than that. You pointed that out then, so you're being consistent with pointing it out now. I can't take that away from you.
You know, I think I like it better when we fight. But it's a friendly
we're going to fight a lot. We just can't do this just since it's the time and place for that, not after what happened Saturday night.
It's got to stop. Let's start here. No Hitler, no fascist, no racist, and no Gestapo. Let's start at that basic level. Stephen A.
I'm good with that.
Appreciate you. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.